glasses on straight. What, been a while since I've done a video, many reasons, but I've just seen something on YouTube. That's a lie. Google. I was looking through, and it's set me in mind to do a little background thing on several of my novels, because people are always asking, how did you get the idea for this? How did you get the idea for that? Blah blah. panDEMONium, which is set in a tower block. I originally got the idea. I released it originally. panDEMONium I released in, would have been 2010, and it would have been something like my 5th novel, I think. A long time ago. No, wouldn't have been my 5th. It would have been 2000. Yeah, 2010 would have been my 5th novel. And it basically follows a group of residents living in a tower block in London, where they are all haunted by ghosts. Keep seeing ghostly presence in the house and various things like that, and they've all got their own backstories. If you've read my books, you know the characters. I always try and make human characters worse than the actual threat, because people are horrible, most of them, not all of them. But yeah, so I moved this. I think it was South London, fictional suburb of South London, and the people living in this tower block, and I can't say too much, but the ghosts are there. But what comes after the ghosts, straighten that up, is even worse. I'll just explain. I'm wearing this pink hoodie because this house, despite it being June, is absolutely fucking freezing. And yeah, I'm as cold as a witch's tear. So yeah, so panDEMONium, it was in this tower block. I originally got the idea for it. I used to do security when I first moved north to live in Hartlepool after living in Portsmouth for most of my life. Lived all over the place, but majority in Portsmouth. I met Drama on MySpace, one or on eBay, to be honest. No, I met him on MySpace, so we moved up here, moved to Hartlepool. Got a job as a security guard for a firm, and talk too much about the firm. Yeah, well, we used to be loads of us. We used to get in a van, get picked up by the security van over night time. But 2 in the afternoon. We'd get to the security office for 2 in the afternoon, get in the van. Half the people had licences, half the people didn't, security firms. And they would drive us up to Newcastle. From where we lived, it's probably about a 40-minute drive. We were in Hartlepool, so Newcastle, 40-minute drive. And they would basically drop us off at little shipping containers in the middle of nowhere through the night on building sites, or on mine, one of the ones I was always put on was in the middle of the woods, where so that some company was laying copper wire for some reason. So I was just dumped. I think it was in Denton in Newcastle. I was dumped in the middle of this little woods in a shipping container with a little metal fence around me and loads of reels of copper that everyone wants to steal because it's really expensive. But yeah, so we would, and then we get picked up at 10 in the morning because they were always late after they picked everyone else up. Get home and have to be back at the office for like 2 o'clock. So luckily I just used to sleep through my shifts, as you do. Anyway, but yeah, as we would drive up, we would always go past this tower block. And it's only through research later that I realised that at the time I was seeing it, it had already been evacuated. They'd moved the residents out just because of the place was just a shithole. But it was called the Derwent Rocket. The Dunstan Rocket, the Derwent Rocket. Can't even fucking remember what it was called now. But yeah, so I'll try and get a photo on it if I can figure out any technological stuff. And basically, it was a really strange design. It had like buttresses used to come down the sides, which is apparently not normal. And it was built in like a brutalistic design in like 1977, something like that. So we used to drive by and I used to look up this tower block, not knowing the residents all been evacuated, and not knowing the area, just looking at it, and sometimes it would be getting dark. You know, we were leaving a bit later. It's the northeast. It gets dark at like fucking midday. Feels like it. And there'd be no lights on in this tower block. Like there's no one living. And I'd be like, how is there no one in this tower block with a light on? So it sparked my imagination, and I just started writing this book about that. But yeah, apparently it was knocked down a couple of years later, 2012. But yeah, that's basically where the idea come from. It was just such a weird building. This is like this in a city full of lights, burning fires, burning cars, and Newcastle. No, in a city full of all illuminated houses all surrounding it, big council estate, everything's all lit up, and then you got this tower block with no lights in it at all. And I was like, I'm having that. That's mine. But yeah, so panDEMONium, and it was a fairly well received novel. I actually then went on later and wrote Bloody Geese, which I originally released as Ghostline, which is set about based on the history, the story of the Winchester geese in London, and my take on present day events, the ghosts wanting revenge. But I put a character from panDEMONium. I like the character so much. I put that character also in Bloody Geese, which I'll change the name of Ghostline to. So if you like panDEMONium, if you read panDEMONium, and you like the character Jim, which most people do, get over and read Bloody Geese, and vice versa. If you like Bloody Geese and you liked Jim, go and read panDEMONium. But yeah, so that's it. That's just me dribbling on a Sunday morning, look inside one of my novels. Cheers.